Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristi. Today I have an easy keto meal prep for you guys. And I meal prep breakfasts and lunches mostly, and the occasional dinner here and there. This just makes getting ready in the morning, feeding my children a breakfast, and getting their lunch packed super easy. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Love to have you as a member of my YouTube family. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Tons of before and after pictures over there, sneak peeks, recipes, lots going on over there. And make sure you follow me over on Facebook because I have a keto family group going on over there. All things keto with Kristi. We support each other. We share recipes. We answer each other's questions. It's just like keto support group, exactly like what it says. So make sure you check us out on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to be making some biscuits, and this is from the Southern Keto Cookbook. If you want the complete directions for this recipe and everything that you need for it, complete measurements, you're going to have to go buy it because I just don't feel comfortable giving out somebody else's recipe. I am going to sort of walk you through my process though and let you see these biscuits so that you know you need to get the cookbook. You need 2 eggs, some salt, some baking powder, butter, some almond flour, and sour cream. I'm starting out with almond flour. You know that I've said this a million times. The key to good keto baked goods is always sifting your almond or coconut flour. So that's all I'm going to do here is just sift completely through the almond flour. This gets out any lumps, any large pieces of almonds. It breaks everything down and it makes it, even though it's super fine, it just makes it even better. Now see all these big pieces of almonds that wouldn't go through the sifter? I don't want those in there because that wouldn't make this finely ground almond flour. That would make it grainy and chunky. Next is baking powder. Next ingredient is pink salt. Go ahead and whisk together your dry ingredients. Set your dry ingredients to the side. We're going to add your eggs, sour cream, and then melted butter. Go ahead and whisk together your wet ingredients. That butter wasn't hot. It was just melted, and then I let it sit on the stove to cool for a little bit because you do not want to put hot, freshly melted butter in with eggs. Next, we're going to just mix together the wet and the dry ingredients, and then once you do that, you're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. While you're letting your dough rest for a minute, go ahead and line your baking pan. I use this parchment paper from Dollar Tree. I can vouch for it. It's really good. It is non-stick, oven safe, and you get, what was it? Over here, 25 square feet. Once your 5 minutes are up, you're going to go ahead and scoop these on here. The recipe in the cookbook calls for 10 biscuits. You know what? I never ever get the same amount as any recipe. I don't know if you do or not. But I'm just going to scoop these on here. We'll see if this little thing helps me get 10 this time. This time, 11 biscuits. I never get the right amount no matter what a recipe calls for. Okay, these are going in your preheated oven. It's at 400 degrees, and you're going to let these cook for about 10 to 12 minutes, but I'm going to check on them way before that. Biscuits are done. Let's go ahead and take these out. These were in exactly 10 minutes. They're getting nice and crunchy on the top. Here's what they look like. We made 11 biscuits. These would be good with soup. They'll be good with butter and jelly on them because I didn't put any seasonings in them like garlic, but you can add garlic and cheese if you want. And there's what the biscuits look like when they're finished. I store these just out on the bar in an airtight container, and as the kids want them, they just warm one up. I'm gonna go ahead and throw together some chicken salad for the girls' lunch for this week. This is just the large cans that I pick up at Aldi. I just dump this in a container after I have drained all the water off of it, and then I just break it up into smaller pieces. This week, the girls only have school 3 days, so I'm only gonna make 1 can, but there are some weeks where I go ahead and make 2 cans. That way, Chris, Preston, and the girls can both eat out of it. But this week, I'm only going to make it with 1. I'm gonna add a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, like I do to everything. Every single week that I make this, it's different. It's never the same. Some weeks pickles, sometimes I'll add bacon, sometimes it just depends what the girls are in the mood for. This week it is some chopped up pickles, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that up. That's it. I'm gonna put the lid on the lock and lock container. I'll store this in the refrigerator. Since they only go to school 3 days this week, this should be plenty of chicken salad to get them through. So it's finally cooled off here in Tennessee, and I wanted to make some soup. My mother has been asking for some broccoli cheddar soup for a couple of weeks now, so I thought I'd go ahead and give this a shot and make it. This is not a recipe that I have tried in the past, so I'm going to walk you through everything that's in it, and in the end I'll tell you if it's any good or not. I'm going to put this in the crock pot. I think the original recipe that I found and pinned online did not call for it being done on the crock pot, but I like stuff that you just dump, walk away, come back, it's finished, and you eat. So you're gonna need broccoli, you're gonna need some broth, bone broth, chicken broth, some vegetable broth. Just make sure you read your ingredients to get something that isn't horrible. I'm going with shredded cheese this week, guys. I've just been doing a little bit dirty, lazy keto lately. And you'll need heavy whipping cream and some garlic. And that's it. We're just gonna throw some of these things in a crock pot, walk away, come back several hours later and see how good it is. We're starting out with the bone broth. This is just the chicken bone broth, and you're gonna want to add 3.5 cups of this to your crock pot. You can of course double this recipe. I should with this huge crock pot, but I'm not going to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shake that up real good. Go ahead and add 3.5 cups. And there is just a little bit left, but I will save that one night to just warm up, add some butter to, and have as a hot drink. Next ingredient is going to be 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and you just add that to your crock pot and your broth. Next, I'm going to be adding some garlic powder. If you did not see that coming, you must be new to my channel, because I add minced garlic, garlic cloves, garlic powder, garlic to everything. So again, this is just to taste. Add as much as you want. This is frozen broccoli florets. This is the 12-ounce bag. And yes, they are frozen, and I am sticking them in there just like that. Okay, let's just go ahead and stir all this up. You can, like I said, double this recipe, but I honestly don't see the girls eating this. This is just something that's gonna probably be me, Mom, and maybe Chris, and that would be enough for us. If this is absolutely to die for, of course, I will start doubling the recipe and try freezing it to see how that goes. But again, this is such an easy recipe, I don't really see any sense in it. So I'm just gonna cover this up and let it cook for several hours. Then, very last step is adding cheese. Also, to this recipe, I added 1 teaspoon of my pink Himalayan salt, and I also added a dash of onion powder, again, personal preference, and pepper if you want, but definitely add some of your pink salt. Okay, so this has been cooking for the better part of 2.5 hours now. The broccoli in it is really tender. I did go ahead and add another teaspoonful of salt. Believe me, it needs it. Then I'm gonna start adding in my cheese. This is 3 cups of shredded cheese. This is already the pre-shredded. I'm gonna go ahead and add about 1/3 of that. I'm gonna mix it up. until it melts. Then I'll add the next third, and so on. So you can see where the cheese is mostly melted up, but not completely. So all I did was turn this back on low, and I'm gonna let it sit here and cook for about another 30 minutes and stir it occasionally to make sure nothing burns. Okay, broccoli cheddar soup is done. We'll be able to eat on this for a few days. It did take the 2 teaspoons of salt, and if you want to add other flavorings, go ahead and do so. You can see there's still some big pieces of broccoli in here, and we'll probably be eating some of those biscuits with this. Next time I make it though, I think I will cut the cheese back just a little bit. I think it had too much because not all of it dissolved into the soup. So I'll definitely be cutting that back maybe to 2.5 cups and see what happens next time. Briley loves cucumbers, and it is one of her favorite snacks. I've went ahead and washed these, and now I'm just going to go ahead and chop them up, put them in a little resealable container. This one does happen to be a plastic lock and lock, and that way as she needs snacks throughout the week, she can just run and get one of these and not be screaming, "Mom, there's nothing to eat, there's nothing to snack on." So I like to go ahead and have the fruit and veggies cut up for the week. I know I usually don't show this, but I just wanted you guys to know that I do it, so I'll probably just zoom through this one really quick. I did also make some amazing fat bombs for the week, and these have some of the Lollis granola in them, and they're a pumpkin flavor. I'm not going to bore you going through this. If you want to see it, the video will be linked below, and I'll also link it in the cards. But these are delicious, so check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Make sure you check out some of my others. Bye. Check out that gorgeous tree down there. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely like a flaming orange and yellows and reds. It's not looking like it's going to be a wonderful peak season for fall, but that one tree right there is so pretty to look at.